Still injury concerns at Liverpool with Ryan Gravenberch and Konate still have not been confirmed if they will be playing in this Sunday's game at Anfield against Manchester United. ESPN Brazil have said that Gabriel Jesus could leave Arsenal this upcoming January transfer window. Piero Hincapié is back in training, and I want to ask all of you a question. And that question is it better to be the hunter or the hunted throughout this title race? Let me know your answer to that in the comments, and I will try and get back to as many as I can. The Premier League title race is only separated as it stands after 7 games by 1 point. But everything right now seems to be going great for Arsenal, and everything has taken a turn for the worse for Liverpool. We're going to break all of this down and more. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you press that hype button. It's a new feature that really, really helps videos out and YouTube channels out. So please spam that hype button as well if you haven't already. The road to 100,000 subscribers is well and truly on. We just hit 80K, and now we're 51 subscribers away from 80,300. Now, I want to start by talking about Gabriel Jesus. Now, according to ESPN Brazil, who at times get a lot of stuff right, have actually said that he could leave in January. Now, this came out a couple of hours ago. Transfer News Live, one of the biggest Twitter accounts when it comes to transfer news, if not the biggest other than Romano and Ornstein. It says, Arsenal have made it clear to Gabriel Jesus that he's free to leave this club as soon as the January transfer window. His time at the club looks to be over. And I'll be honest, Andrea Berta is ruthless. This man gets it done. It doesn't matter what. It could be a transfer target, getting a new contract over the line, changing things at a hierarchy perspective. He gets it done. Now, I look across Arsenal's front line. I look on their right. They've got one of the best players in the world in Bukayo Saka. They've got Noni Madueke as a backup. I look on the left. They've got Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli. Eberechi Eze can play there. Wanyeri can play out on the right. I look at the striker. Trossard's played there in the last couple of months. You've got Kai Havertz coming back from injury. And you have also got Victor Gyökeres. As it stands right now, I think that tweet is correct. I think Gabriel Jesus' time at Arsenal may be over. And when you think of when they signed him, it was one of Arteta's biggest transfers, £50 million from Manchester City. But he has been riddled of injuries. He's had, probably, I would say, minimum of 9 months, maybe 12, 15 months out injured during his time at Arsenal, maybe more than that. I also see a stat that I don't think he's even made 100 Premier League appearances, which is actually insane, considering he's been there, this is his 4th season. Am I right in saying that? Last season, he only played 17 games. The season before, he only played 27 games. Season before that, he only played 26 games. He has missed a lot of football. I think he's actually missed something like 60 Premier League games, which is absolutely insane. And I think they could probably generate a decent fee if he was to go back to Brazil. We know that, that is probably an interest to him. He might still want to stay in the Premier League, but who knows? Now, before we get on to Liverpool, I want to talk about, is it better to be the hunter or the hunted? Now, you're probably thinking, Henry, what on earth are you talking about? Well, let's look at the Premier League as it stands right now. The Premier League table has Arsenal in first and Liverpool in second, and those teams are separated by 1 point. Now, in recent years, Liverpool and Manchester City, when they have won the league, have actually run away with it pretty early on. You think back to last year, Liverpool only lost 1 Premier League game up until, I think it was March. The only game they lost was against Nottingham Forest. This season, Liverpool have already lost 2. Arsenal have lost 1. Man City have lost 2. Chelsea have lost 2. Man United have lost 3. Spurs have only lost 1. Now, I think this will be a season where I don't think Arsenal or Liverpool will run away with it to the point which we saw last year where Liverpool were 8 or 9 points clear in January. I don't necessarily think that will happen. Now, is it better to be in Liverpool's position right now or Arsenal's? Now, they're only separated by a point. And yes, you're going to say, obviously it's probably better to be in Arsenal's position because they're top of the league. But when you're top of the league and you're in a title race, that also comes with a considerable amount of pressure. Now, I actually believe the pressure is on both clubs. And I'll tell you why. Arsenal are going to have a huge amount of pressure because Arteta has been there 6 years in November. They want to win the league title. They want to win the Champions League. The fan base and the club have got their aspirations to go out there and win major honours. And so far, he's only won an FA Cup and 2 Charity Shields. There is also a huge amount of pressure on Arne Slot because as it stands right now, they went out and spent £300 million, £340 million in the summer. Alexander Isak hasn't hit the ground running yet, but you would need to apply a context because he didn't have a preseason. The same with Florian Wirtz, hasn't hit the ground running yet. Adapting to a new league can sometimes take time, right? New language, etc., new culture, new style of play, new manager. All these new things, some players get it early, some players take a few months. That's absolutely fine. Same as Victor Gyökeres. Now, I personally believe right now, if we take away the points, I think in terms of the morale in the fan base, the overall health of the squad, at Arsenal, it seems to be like 1 in, 1 out. And Piero Nketiah is back from injury today, back in the Arsenal squad. But it does appear that Ben White is out injured. And it kind of seems to be like 1 in, 1 out. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the, Odegaard got injured, Eberechi Eze fit, Saka got injured, Noni Madueke then got injured, Saka's back. We've kind of seen left, right, and centre 1 in, 1 out. And when you look at the injuries that Liverpool have, Arsenal, obviously, they've built that squad really, really well. They've probably got the best all-round squad in the Premier League right now, I would say. Now, Liverpool, as it stands, they've got huge injury concerns, in my opinion. Now, this is on the FootMob website. They have now actually confirmed that Gravenberch does have a hamstring injury, and he is doubtful. Endo is doubtful. Giovanni Leone is out till late December, and I think that is very, very, very ambitious to get him back from a crucial ligament injury. You're probably looking at January by the time he is fully fit. Alisson Becker is out injured to mid-November, and Konate is another one who could be added to that list because he was sent back from France early because of an injury. Now, was that a tactical masterclass from Arne Slot saying, hey, we need you, you're really important to this squad, come back, don't worry about the France situation. They've got Saliba, Upamecano, Lenny Yoro. They're stacked with centre-back depth. Now, if this is the case, the Gravenberch and Konate are missing for a period of time with Alisson Becker and Giovanni Leone as well, and Endo has come in and played at centre-back during pre-season for Liverpool, this makes things very, very interesting. And I'll tell you why. Because Liverpool, as it stands, as of the 16th of October, what we know right now is they will only have 2 senior centre-backs for this run of games, depending on the severity of the injury to Konate, which would mean Manchester United, Frankfurt away, Brentford away, Crystal Palace at home, who we know Oliver Glasner has got decent results against Liverpool, Aston Villa, Real Madrid, Manchester City, and then we're at the November international break. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in 3.5 weeks, which is roughly a game every 3 days. At that level of fixture, the fact that there isn't a significant amount of players to rotate with Virgil van Dijk and Gomez, could we see another injury? I've been saying this since the start of the season. Liverpool needed more centre-back depth, and Mark Gahey was so important. They tried, but Crystal Palace, dug their heels in and they would not budge, which, to be fair, you have to respect because of how valuable he is to Crystal Palace in terms of his ability as a player. What's also very interesting is Arsenal's run of games, and everything seems to be going their way right now. I am going to make a prediction. Now, my predictions at times, let's just say, don't go too well for Tottenham. However, they get 3 points on Saturday. They get 3 points against Atletico Madrid. Crystal Palace is going to be a very interesting game because I really rate Oliver Glasner. I really rate Jean-Philippe Mateta, Muniz, their right back, Gahey. Adam Wharton, I think, is one of the most technically gifted central midfielders in the league. I've been saying this about Crystal Palace for over a year now. I remember having battles with Sean at Spurs Talk Show, and we used to talk about how many players at Palace were getting at Spurs. They have got a very, very quality squad. Brighton, I expect them to heavily rotate, and then I expect them to beat win the next 3 away games. Slavia Prague, Sunderland, and Burnley should be a minimum of 3 wins. If Arsenal go on a run, I'm looking at Liverpool now, and when I'm going back to that, is it better to be the hunter or the hunted? In recent years, Liverpool, City, whoever has won the league, have run away with it. I don't think they will run away with it. However, if there is going to be a runaway, it will be in these 7 games. Because Arsenal have got all their tough games at home, all their easy games away, other than Fulham. Liverpool have got some difficult fixtures in there. Real Madrid, Man City, Brentford away. If it wasn't for a Gianluigi Donnarumma unbelievable save, they would have beat City. And it's a very, very interesting question. So I want to ask you all, again, is it better to be the hunter or the hunted? Let me know your thoughts down below. The Premier League is back in a couple of days. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you next time. I'm out.